Classes are in session for another school year, but a number of students already face the possibility of being held back or even dropping out because they can't read or write. 40 years ago, an 11-year-old boy just like them was among the first students to conquer a learning disability that few knew or understood anything about.
In first grade, when I looked at a sentence, the words shifted and fragmented on the page. The only way I could tell if a book was right side up was by the pictures. When I was called on to read, I panicked. I created such mayhem, I was expelled from second grade. By third grade, I'd been in and out of 3 different schools. By fourth grade, I learned to fly under the radar and be invisible. Or just disappear.
Dr. Daniel Franklin is the subject of a documentary titled Unteachable. He's a board-certified educational therapist with a master's degree from Harvard and a PhD from UCLA. He's also author of the book Helping Your Child with Language-Based Learning Disabilities. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you. First of all, can you define exactly for people who don't know language-based learning disabilities?
Yes, typically we would think of dyslexia, but increasingly many educators such as myself prefer to view the overlapping learning and behavioral differences such as dyslexia, ADHD, different processing challenges as a collection of learning and behavioral challenges called language-based learning disabilities.
You were lucky in that there was a teacher, and you talk about this teacher in your documentary, who saw something and realized something. Who was the teacher?
The teacher was Mrs. Shirley Gott. She lived to the age of 98. We were in touch right up to her passing several years ago. She had this belief that all children can learn and all children deserve the opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
And she lived that belief. I was very fortunate to connect with Anthony Sharon, the maker of Unteachable, and collaborate on this short documentary. It only runs 11 minutes, and I hope everyone has an opportunity to watch it.
How did she continue to help other students? She said she had a long life.
Simple formula. She loved them. She cared about them. She made them feel accepted, not judged. She found ways to accommodate their learning and behavioral differences, not make the child fit the environment, but rather change the environment to accommodate the child's learning and behavioral needs.
Not so easy, though.
It's not easy, but it is possible. It takes effort, but helping anyone takes effort. And when we give up on children, especially those who are struggling, frankly, we've given up on ourselves and our society. All children can learn.
Yeah.
And all children deserve the opportunity to learn. But it means we're going to have to do something more than we're currently doing, especially for children who learn differently or have different behavioral characteristics.
When we talk about these language-based learning disabilities, are there signs that parents can look for in their own children?
First of all, look for the good. Look for the strengths. Look for the abilities. Look for the playfulness. Look for the curiosity. Look for the love. Those are the important signs to look for, because those are the resources every child has that will allow them to excel in life. Now look, if a kid is struggling, learning to read, or pronouncing words, or having difficulty staying in their seat, sure, we want to investigate what's going on. Perhaps one child stands out more relative to other children in terms of some of these behavioral characteristics. We must not pathologize those characteristics, but understand them as just a continuum of differences, learning differences and behavioral differences, and then we can do something by strengthening that child's strength, by fostering a strong, positive connection with those children, just like Mrs. Gott did in Anthony Sharon's film. He documents that connection. That's really what Unteachable is about.
11 minutes. A lot said in 11 minutes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Daniel Franklin is the founder and president of Franklin Educational Services in Los Angeles. For more information about his book and the Unteachable documentary, go to danielfranklinphd.com. Thank you again for coming in.